G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. Today I'm going to take you on a little walk around my ocean base, which is not something I usually do after a great big time lapse. I usually just give you the world download and you can go for a wander yourself and copy it into your world if you'd like to. But I haven't done it yet because I want to build this in my single player world and it's going to take some time, so the last thing I want is 100 other people building the exact same thing as I'm building it, but the world download will be available as soon as I get it built there. I really want to prove that this is doable. There is an absolute ton of quartz in this build, so it's definitely not a starter base, but yeah, a late game base it would definitely be lovely for. And I think it would be perfect for a guardian farm. So we've got a great big ring of legs going all the way around supporting this thing. But yeah, right in the middle here, we have a huge open area where you could easily fit an ocean monument. So on the inside of this thing, we have a complete base. There's a villager trading hall, a few farms, a few areas to build more farms, and a great big storage system, but on the outside it is purely decorative, and I've done it in a greco-roman style, and this one is literally Greek and Roman, so if you're wondering why it looks a little bit familiar, that's because I've basically taken the Colosseum and plonked the Acropolis on the very top, so a little mishmash of different cultures there, but it does look super duper cool. And as I always say, it's not enough just to build the buildings, it's everything you build around the buildings that brings the whole build together. And so I've taken that quite literally and done a huge garden all the way around. And there is a lot of repetition in the garden. At each side we've got the same fountain and everything. But I have thrown in a few little cool features and we'll go and visit all of them. So we've got a little bath area here, so it's basically a pool with a roof over the top, and I think it looks lovely. So anywhere where it's sort of undercover, I've made sure to light it up so you're not going to get any mobs spawning. But all this area on the garden outside, this is not spawn proof, so if you use this as your base, you will get mobs down here. But later on as we get into the base, and the only way in is through a bunch of iron doors in here. Everything beyond these iron doors is spawn proof, so you don't have to worry about beasties up there. So we've got lots of lovely pathways here that I've done with mostly white concrete powder. And we've got these lovely little frames above our path, just using the trapdoors with some vines on the inside. It is a super simple design, but they look really lovely. And then we've got a little statue here, and I have repeated this one quite a bit. When you're designing something this large and you're only giving yourself a couple of weeks to do it, you do need to do quite a bit of repetition. But yeah, it's quite lovely. We've just got nice big open park areas here. You see the same sort of thing around here, but on this one I've added an Atlas statue, so he's holding up the world right there. The diorite and the quartz actually does look quite good together. So we can continue on. I've got a few little ponds just around the place, just coming up with any... Basically what I did is I did the exact same parkland in each quarter of the park area here. And then I just went through and started changing little bits and pieces, like planting different flowers, changing up our little archways here with the vines on them, just adding campfires to that one. Different plants, rose bushes, we've got a little pergola thing here, and let's continue. So in each of these, in this center bit right on the corner, I've done a different feature. So we had the bathhouse, we had the Atlas statue, and on this one I've got two different tiger statues. Well, two tiger statues that are facing in different directions, so they look super lovely. So yeah, it'll be fun to come out here every morning and just walk around your park and clear out the mobs. But that's enough of that. Let's start getting into the main part of the building. So we've got a nice little undercover area here that goes all the way around, and this area here is spawn proof, so the mobs will not be spawning down here during the day. And then in each of these we have a little entrance here, so just on the side walls, it depends what area we're at here. Okay, so we've got a staircase up to the main base, but just in here we've got a little area for farms. So I haven't put anything in here, but I could imagine having probably a fence down the middle, cows on one side, sheep on the other. But you could even just use this as an area to build a farm, like a sugarcane farm or maybe an automatic wool farm. And there are 4 of these in total, so we've got lots of room for adding lots of other devices. And I reckon if I was building this above an ocean monument, I would probably use one of these areas to have all the goodies from the ocean monument come up here into a big storage area. But let's go into the main part here, and we've got a great big trading hall. And this is very similar to the one that I built in my survival series, so it is fully functional. The only difference is, in my survival world, the trading hall I have there, you breed the villagers at the very ends of the hall. But because I wanted an entrance at each end, I've changed the design up, so now the breeding pens for the villagers are right here in the center. So we've got one of these for each section of the trading hall, and you just start with 2 villagers in there, and you throw some food over the fence, and there are some beds beyond those trapdoors, so they can't reach the beds, but they can see them, so they will breed up, and then you can just flick the lever here, open the fence gate, and that lets them in down here, and they will just use their own AI to come into their trading cell. And I guess the other cool feature of this is I've got the enchanting table up in the roof here, and I used this exact same design in my survival world, but the good thing about this is you can reach the enchanting table from down here, but you can also reach it from the floor above, which we will see shortly. Okay, so to get to the main storage area, you can come up any one of these stairs. And this is a huge room, guys. So you can also just walk straight up here onto the next level, and we've got a lovely little view of our base. But we will stay down here for the time being. So in this room, basically, we've just got, around the edges here, we've just got staircases going up and down, and there's one of them on each side. And then in the middle here, we've got farms. So I've got carrots, I've got wheat, potatoes, and beetroot growing in here. So we can easily just farm up whatever we need, but it's also just for decoration. I think it looks really, really lovely. And then here is the money shot, guys. You saw the Acropolis at the beginning. Well, as you come into the main storage room, that is actually a feature. So it's got a glass floor up there so we can look up at the thing. And I think it looks awesome. And here is our enchanting table in the center. And for the storage system, I've gone for Nembon's multi-item sorter here. And I've actually built this properly. I haven't tested it just in case I placed something wrong, but it should be working. So when we eventually do the world download, you can just copy this block for block and you will have a great little item sorter. So they're not connected to each other, they're just 4 separate ones. And the crimson stair just tells us where the input chest is for each of these item sorters, so you have tons and tons of storage. And I think if I was actually using this as my survival base, I would get a little bit worried about creepers. Like, I have tried to spawn proof everything and should be spawn proofed, but I would still be worried about coming in here into my storage area and AFKing while the storage system ran, just in case a creeper came walking down the stairs somewhere and blew something up. So I think if I was using this as my base, around these pillars in the center, I'd probably just put a short wall or something, just so I would be nice and safe in there. But yeah, in this, if you do build this once you do get the world download, you don't have to do the crop farms. I just did it for the time lapse. I think they look nice, but there is plenty of room to build whatever you want. You could remove one of these, put in a huge super smelter. There is a lot of room in this base, guys, but and each corner of these has a little elytra exit, so we don't have to go walking forever to take off. But let's go upstairs. And you can see what I mean by a ton of quartz in this thing. It will take quite a while to get all the materials to build this. You will definitely want to have a great big villager trading hall. Well, that's the thing, you could actually start by building the villager trading hall down the bottom, fill it full of masons and just use them to get all the quartz for these builds. So on each side here we've got this lovely little building, and I think if I'd had more time in the time-lapse I would have actually changed this up a bit. So it's very symmetrical at the moment. I've just repeated this building on each side. I think it does look really cool, but what I would like to do at a later date, come back and just change them up a little bit just to break some of that symmetry. And then behind these, right at the end, we've got a lovely wall here covered in bushes. So it looks like like we've got vines overgrowing everything. But yeah, we can come up here to the next staircase. We've got lovely little paths here full of flowers. And then we can come up to the Acropolis up the top. And like I said before, we've got a white glass floor in here. So we can look down on our huge base. And yeah, I think this is definitely worth it. Why build something inside the Acropolis when you can have something cool like this with an awesome view? So this is almost like a miniature city, guys. There are so many places to walk around and so many lovely little details. I've been using this coral block quite a bit in the build, and I think it is looking pretty awesome too. But yeah, I think the number one thing that makes this build look quite lovely is all the greenery and all the gardens that we've scattered around. So it would definitely be a base that I would love to live in, and there is plenty of room down below inside the water if you want to drain some areas to expand and make this place super huge. But one of the reasons that I've decided to do a tour for this is we are going to have a little competition on my Discord server. So I've said that I'm not doing a world download just yet because I want to build it in my single player world. But one lucky person is going to get the world download because we're going to have a build contest. And this is what we're going to be playing around with. This is the ring surrounding my big ocean base. And we've got the gardens here, but like I said, I was running low on time, and so I've done quite a bit of repetition in this. So the contest will be, if you go to my Discord, and the link is down in the description, you can download this world here with the ring in it. And what I'd like you to do is just come in here and make these gardens even better. Mix them up, make them different on each side. You can do whatever you want. If you want to, you can just add one new building or one statue. Just do anything you like. And then send the world download back. Or if you don't know how to make a world download, just post the photos of it. And I will judge the thing. And when I build it in survival, I will use the winner's ideas. And if there's more than one winner, which there might be, if I'm going to use a bunch of ideas, I will give you all the full world download so you can get it long before everyone else. So if you're interested in getting the world download for the gardens around the outside here and improving them and hopefully be something that I can use in my single player world when I rebuild this, just look for the link to my Discord server in the description and you'll find the contest there. But yeah, once again, the little contest is only going to run for a couple of weeks, but you can win this world download about a month earlier than everyone else is going to get it. So thanks for watching. A bit of a short tour, but that is going to happen when you have such big indoor areas like this. But they do look super impressive. So thanks for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas on how to improve our gardens on the outside here to make this build even better. So cheers guys, I'm Cortezerino. I'll see you later.